Hello, my melodies. Welcome back. We went to two pre-release events for Journey Together, one at midnight and then one at kind of midday. I think it started at 1, but sign-up started at 12. So midnight and midday, I think, is probably what the title is going to be on this video. But yeah, we went to two different events. Of course, with the pre-release events, you get a build and battle box. So we got a couple of the build and battle boxes and opened them up. 40 card deck. You get 4 packs, so you open up the packs, you figure out what the best 40 card deck is, and then you play 3 rounds. And then for each round, you get a extra pack of the new set, of the set that you're doing pre-release in. So I didn't open up these at the store. The store I went to also gave a prize pack for participation. So we have a prize pack and then 3 Journey Together to open. The second build and battle that I went to, I did end up going out afterwards with some friends to Topgolf, and they really wanted to open up some of the new sets, so we went ahead and opened that. And yeah, so I'm going to go over, I'm going to show a little bit of the footage that I took. Hopefully it came out, depending on how much I put while I'm talking over this. We'll see how much it actually turned out. I was playing around with a new camera and also playing around with a new kind of angle and kind of round the neck type of mount for my phone. So hopefully there's a little bit of footage. The first deck box, or whatever, the build and battle box with the promo that I got was Darmanitan. So that was a kind of a fun little try to deck. I won once. I actually ended up playing Nate first round both times. I don't know how the, I guess, M and N, Mark and Nate, are close enough together that it it threw us together. But yeah, played both rounds. Only managed to barely beat him both times, and those were my wins for the weekend. Everything else I ended up losing, but we ended up getting the Journey Together promo stamp pre-release from the box for N's Darmanitan to start out. I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk a little bit about the deck once I get through some of this footage. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm trying to get all of the other things together. But anyway, yeah, you can see we had some fun. Yeah, overall, the pulls on the extra packs weren't that great. My second build and battle box, I don't know if the footage really came out at all. I wasn't directly, I wasn't filming while I was opening it, but I got 3 pulls, so really nice cards. I'll also show those later in the video because I think those were the highlight of the evening, of the days. I will say, as I get older, it's tougher to do the midnight and then back-to-back events and then still have things planned afterwards. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, there's the footage. I might put in a little bit of music and show a little bit more, but then we'll come back and we'll look at some of the cards that we pulled. All right, we're back. We're just going to kind of jump on in. We'll shrink up the video so we can start seeing some of the other stuff. I did want to kind of show off my my deck box. I have a deck box here that I believe my mom bought. So shout out to Mom for that. It opens up. I've been doing kind of a multi-layer where I have a deck and then I have the insert from another box protecting it, and then I can also use my kind of damage counters and everything. So I wanted to show off that because you can see I can do a 60 card deck in there, and then I can also slide in like that. Now this little plastic container is a Japanese product. I have my V-Star marker in there. I have my ability markers. I got those from Etsy. I've got my my professor dice. You can see some of the stuff I've earned by being a professor over the years, and some other some of my favorite accessories to take with me to go battle out. And you can see all the different Pokeballs on this one. yeah, I like this product because it has the different Pokeballs. There's a Master Ball right there. So, trying to show off a little bit of my accessories. If you come out to the league or any of the leagues that I'm a part of, you know I like accessories. I try and do newer accessories whenever possible. Yeah, I try lots of different things until I get stuff that I really, really like. Right now, I'm liking this combo. I had that fun dice tray before where all the dice were really neat and organized, but it's just a little bit too big in my opinion. So it doesn't really fit too well with everything else that I'm trying to do. And honestly, like being able to take one deck box with everything that I need, nice and collapsed. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, I got the Ends Darmanitan as the first one. I always like to get the trainer tip cards too, so I ask everybody at pre-release, if you're not going to keep them, I would love to have them, even with the duplicates, because I like to have one in the binder with the tips, and then the other one showing off the artwork. So thank you to everyone who came out to pre-release and gave me their trainer tips cards. I really enjoy having them. Here's the first kind of deck that I tried to build with Darmanitan. I ended up pulling another Darumaka and a Darmanitan, so I ended up just kind of leaning into that and made it all fire. I did throw in a hop because the attack here being if your opponent has 3 or 4 prize cards, then you do damage, and then you can also, where was the other? If you have the Hop's Choice Band, there you go. You can attack for free and do 30 more damage. So I thought that was fun. It did come in handy a couple times in my games. So had some fun. Of course, there's the sleeves I used for the first one. I'll put that up there. I need to unsleeve it and get those sleeves ready for the next one. But the second set, I ended up pulling another Cramorant, and then I pulled the Snorlax. So I ended up leaning more into Hop because I ended up getting the Kilowattrel, Iono's Kilowattrel promo, and then the Cramorant, Rookidee, Corvisquire, and then Corviknight. That's what I was trying to say. Corviknight line is what I got elsewhere. But where's the stamped? Oh yeah, there's a holo Snorlax. Those two together, that adds another 30, so now that Cramorant is doing a lot of good work. There's the Corviknight as well, and there's the promo. The Kilowattrel, Iono's Kilowattrel. Now plenty of us were misplaying this, the ability. I think we just didn't read it right, like you have to discard a card. So we just said, oh, you need to discard a basic lightning energy, and then we kind of stopped reading from there. But the actual verbiage is you must discard a basic lightning energy from this Pokemon in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. So you need to attach to this Pokemon and then proceed to move forward. So, yeah, my camera seems to be a little bit frozen. Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not sure where the the camera stopped recording there, but my feed told me that it stopped. So maybe I'm repeating myself. I'll see how it splices together, but I was talking about the Kilowattrel and how we weren't able, or not a lot of us read the full details. We were playing it a little bit different or incorrectly at the build and battle. So it does say you must discard a basic lightning energy from this Pokemon in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. So very useful, but you have to attach the energy and discard from this Pokemon to be able to use it. So it's kind of weird, unless you get the Belly Bolt EX and a Tadbulb to be able to really use this. It's using up your attach and discard, and I feel like it's a little bit of a rough ability to use and have it be actually useful, unless you have the Belly Bolt. Now, the Belly Bolt's ability is like you can attach to any of your Iono Pokemon during your turn. And then there's Lavencia that also was very, very useful. So we can see Lavencia says once during each player's turn, that player may put up to 2 basic lightning energy from their discard pile into their hand. Very, very playable. So if you have Kilowattrel and the Bellabolt EX and Lavencia, you're doing really good. But on the other side, there was a lot of hop synergy, right? So you can do Hop's Bag to get your Pokemon out. Cramorant is very useful because we start with 4 prizes, so you can basically attack turn 2, and then the Snorlax just bumps up the damage that you're doing with Cram and other Hop Pokemon. So there's a lot of discussion about Hop's Zacian deck at League. One of the friends I have at League is building that deck and having a lot of fun with it. So maybe I might need to build Hop's deck. But with all of this, one of the things I did discover during the first, where I want to save. Where did I put it? I tried to put it on the back. I want to make sure I get both of my promos out. But one of the Pokemon that did attack me during one of my games was this Acelgor, and it says does 70, and then the opponent's active Pokemon is confused and poisoned, and then you switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So I'm feeling like having the ability to switch out my Slowking during those games. I think this might go into my Slowking deck. So I didn't know if I pulled one. One of my opponents was like, "Hey, I'm not going to use this after this day. Here you go." And it's an uncommon, so odds are I will end up pulling it at some point. But those are definitely MVP worthy. So let's go ahead and get the Mark's Valuable Pokemon card section party happening back there with Blastoise, of course, always having fun. Let's see, which one was this? Oh, there's some more trainer tips cards. Thank you to everybody who gave me the trainer tips cards out there. I don't know if I'll have footage of all of the code cards that I pulled. I'll try and put as many as I can, but odds are I'll probably miss some of them. And then the second opening, you can see we got some good stuff. We got a Tapu Koko, a double rare. I didn't put it in my electric deck because I just didn't want a 2-prizer during the build battles. It probably would have helped me a lot. We got this beautiful Articuno card. Just illustration rare, gorgeous. Articuno is my favorite of the original birds, so that's why I went with Mystic, Team Mystic. Very, very fun. And then the full art trainer cards are wonderful. I love the silhouette of the trainer that's behind there. So this is definitely one of the chase cards that we had at plenty of people at the table. I'm still looking for Clefairy. Shout out to Clefairy down here. That's why I wore this shirt, because I want Clefairy EX in one of those packs. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. Some good pulls. I guess I didn't sleeve up the other one. Let me go back into the other box, because I did have a pull on the first night. Where was that? And I'll have to sleeve it up now. Okay, there we go. There we are. There's the pull from the first build and battle that we played in. Got Alcremie EX. Shout out to Alcremie. Wonderful content creator. If you don't follow her, go follow her on all of her socials. Yeah, go do it. It's a ton of fun. And all of that good stuff. Okay, so this was more from the previous set. We will sleeve up Alcremie. So overall, I got 2 double rares, illustration rare, full art, and then the 2 promos. Yeah, it wasn't a bad weekend for pre-release build and battles, but also not always, not a whole bunch of pulls. There were at least 1 or 2 gold cards, maybe 3 gold cards that were pulled, but I don't know if anybody pulled a secret illustration rare. Just it doesn't cross my mind whether or not we did that. The first 3 packs that were part of the Oh yeah, there you go. I can do this. So there's the code card for the prize pack there. The prize pack didn't have anything fancy. I mean, there's a Xatu that's playable, and the nest ball is fun there with at least one swirl. I don't know if I can get the swirl in there. Maybe. And then a rescue board. So prize pack wasn't too eventful. The other pulls were not that great either. Where is it? Oh, I didn't see Billionaire. What is this? 10 more cards in your hand. Draw 2 more cards. Wow, that might be fun for the Tinkatongue deck, right? Because you want to be drawing a whole lot. So Meowscarada was the rare on that one. There's the code card for that. Of course, those code cards won't work until we get into actual release week. Then they'll start working. I think actually they have to wait until release day nowadays. I'm not quite sure. Okay, we got a Volcarona for one of the reverses. Where is the other one? Okay, Ludicolo, Kecleon, Ludicolo, code card for the future. Come back and grab those code cards when they are redeemable. And where was the other one? Over here. Yeah, so these I went to, had a little bit of fun at Topgolf, and then we got the Noivern for that rare. And then, yeah, my friends say, hey, I wanna be able to open up some of those cards. I pulled those out of my bag, and we were able to continue to have a little bit of fun. But didn't get any really cool pulls. I think we saved all of the energy for these 3. I'm gonna end with the Clefairy, Lily's Clefairy. We'll do N and then Hop and then Lily for today's opening. So before we jump in, of course, we always like to have the BPM zone. Let's go ahead and roll for how we're going to play today. We're doing slot number 8, which is awesome. We'll do card number of the set, and we're looking for the highest card number of the set. 8, 5, 6 is our numbers today. Of course, the prize pack doesn't have enough cards to really participate in the BPM zone, so we're going to warm up with the prize pack, have a little bit of extra fun. Oh, shout out to Iono. We got an Iono that's stamped Earthen Vessel, 2 very, very playable cards. Woof. Okay, this is a pretty solid one. We got Coridon and then Squawkabilly EX as well. Very playable. And a Jet Energy. What is this pack? There is the prize pack. I will say I have been playing all of these in my deck. So those 4, I think, will probably go into my Slow King deck because, wow, I've been wanting to put a Squawkabilly in, and that, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm actually going to sleeve up both of those because Squawkabilly has been very useful in a lot of decks, and Jet Energy is incredibly useful in the Slow King deck. How about that? And I want to save those 2. I'll put those to the side so I can put them into the deck. Woo. Okay, we're starting out really strong with that prize pack. That threw me off. I love it. I love good cards that are very playable, and yeah, it's fun to pull some stuff. So we have Ends, Zoroark on the artwork for the first Journey Together pack with all of you that I get to open. I like opening cards with y'all, and always having good fun. There is the code card for that one. Remember, come back and redeem those on release day. Got Ends Clink, we have Lotad, we have Nimble, we have Larvitar, we have Cloth, we have Lavencia, which is part of the Iono's deck. We definitely need those if people are going to play them. We have Oinkalone hanging out on the couch. I mean, just there's no room on that couch for anybody else. I love that, but I would 100% let my Oinkalone take over the couch. I let my cats take over the couch in real life. I would let Oinkalone take over as well. That's funny. Okay, number 8 is Lechonk. Awesome. And we're looking for the card number of the set, so it is 139. So Lechonk will take over the compare card area. We got Lily's Cutie Fly, tiny little one. I love the little stamps with the trainer Pokemon. You know, a lot of us have been anticipating this for a while, so it's fun to see trainer Pokemon back into the TCG. And then we have a Tyranitar to round us out on that one. Okay, we're getting into Hops, Zacian, Zacian, however you want to pronounce it. I do Zacian, maybe, Zacian, a little bit of both. However you pronounce it is correct for you, because words are made up to communicate an idea. And as long as that idea gets conveyed, I think words are worth it. That's my opinion, at least. Okay, so we started out with Clink. Now we got Clang and Clang. We have Furret. Now, somebody was showing me a picture of the illustration rare for this card in the set. Oh, it's adorable. So I think that's probably going to be one of my chase cards, because it is so adorable. Okay, wonderful. Okay, Drugadong. Let's see what. Attach a basic fire from your discard pile to one of your dragon Pokemon. It's not too bad. We have Cubone with beautiful artwork there. I like that artwork. We got Pelipper. Ends Clink Clang. Now we have the evolution line. I like it. What is this? 3, flip 3 coins. Attack does 120 for each. Oh, that might go into my Slowking deck as well. I like rolling for potential damage, and if I get all 3, that's 3. Was that 360? That is not a bad attack. I like that idea. We have Ends Castle. Ends Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents, have no retreat cost. That can be very useful, because I think there's a lot of retreat cost, high retreat costs, at least for Ends Pokemon, for a lot of these trainer Pokemon. So that's probably good synergy. Ends Darumaka is number 26, not taking over the Compare card. And we have a Butterfree to end. Okay, let's see. Flip 4 coins. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. If at least 2 of them are heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That's an interesting attack. I don't know if that's going to be enough consistent damage to warrant to go in the Slowking deck. I like the 3, because you're doing you just get 1 head, you do 120. In most cases, that's going to be enough to do enough. And then you have the potential for the big blowout. I don't know. I do like rolling dice, though, so that might go into a fun Slowking deck versus a real one. We have Remoraid here. It looks like he's doing a little bit of a water blast, or water or bubble shooter type thing. That's interesting. We got Carablast. We got Torchic. Lilligant, so beautiful. What does Lilligant say? Attacks used by your grass Pokemon and fire Pokemon do 20 more to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's interesting. So I have the T deck that has grass, and I could do an additional 20 before applying weakness or resistance. That might be very useful in the T deck to do a little bit of extra damage. We have Banette. Is it 3 cards? It's kind of disruptive. A Hops Bag, very playable for the Hop deck. Penguru. We have Autono is number 124, not taking over the Compare card. And then Bombardier. And we're ending on an Iono's Kilowattrel. So no extra pulls from any of the prize packs, but we had a lot of fun. All these new cards are wonderful to look at. I'll start, starting my sort for the binder, but I won't build the binder until after release day. But we're starting this journey together. I love it. Thank you so much for hanging out, watching, hanging out, talking about Pokemon. That's what I love doing. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Whenever you can, whenever you spare a minute or a few minutes to watch these videos, I really do appreciate it. Thank you for commenting and sharing, making sure this channel slowly grows. That's all that I care about. Thank you for helping us slowly grow. I don't need an explosive growth, but any time you spend here, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to keep singing the song in your heart, and in the end, a little music goes a long way.